let's get in. Maybe you got the emails, you had a chance to take a look at it, had a chance to look over a help topic, had a chance to look at the Facebook post. If you're not part of the Facebook group, do a quick shout out to go ahead and join that group when you can. And it's an area where we often do a little pre-release of letting people know what's new before sort of all the official emails and everything go out. So if you haven't seen it yet, the upsell feature is definitely very exciting. So, what is it? What the heck is a upsell modal? Well, a modal is just a fancy word for a pop-up. So let's take a look here. Here is a very basic one overall. This is on a shopping cart popping up to order aerial video, right? So let's take a quick look at it again, just kind of show you guys what we're talking about today. So on this cart, we've got some filters set up. I'm going to pick the luxury photography here, and I'm going to go with Isabel as my photographer. We get the address in, and something to note here. So when you're doing this, I'm doing this as the business owner logged in to the order form to just kind of bring this up. And what that means is that once I answer this question, because I'm not required as the business owner to answer any of the other project detail questions or enter my account info, we're going to get the pop-up right away. Now, if I was a client placing this order, it's going to go down and ask them for their account info. They'll put in their email address. They're going to find it. It's going to ask them, are they going to be on site or not? And then it's going to pop up once they get past the additional info and they're ready to actually make payment. But for us, we're going to be ready to make payment right away. So we get that pop up right away. The idea between the timing is really to sort of just give a little bit of a break between when they were actually making their product selections and when you're saying, hey, you should consider one more product. Let them give some time in between that so it doesn't feel like, hey, I just answered what products I had. Now, why are you asking me what products I had all over again? So just remember that when you're testing that on in your cart and when you're kind of taking a look at how you set it up, when it will pop up for your clients versus when it pops up for you. Okay, so this is an upsell modal. This is what it can look like. You can upload your own images. You can control the text down here. We'll show you all the ins and outs of how to actually create that here shortly. Why would you want to use this, right? Just asking all the obvious questions on the webinar today. So why would you want to do this? You want to do this to increase your average order value, okay? Why do you want to make your average order value higher, right? Hopefully it's because the mix of the products that you're getting to increase that average order value is going to help you from a profit margin standpoint, right? So you're going to make a little bit more money on all of your orders if your clients are buying a little bit more. Okay, good. Another reason to use this outside of that, right? I think those are the kind of the normal ones. Those are sort of like the duh, of course. But another, you like that, Shay? The duh?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed
I like
it.
it.
The other reason to do this is actually product exposure. So, be thinking about, hey, I've just introduced this new product. I don't have a lot of agents ordering yet. It's a good opportunity to say, hey, look at me. This is a new product I have to offer. This is also a good way if you want to run some monthly specials on a way to do that for products that maybe aren't ordered as frequently. You can go ahead and throw a little promo on there when you go up and offer this, kind of like we're seeing now. Opportunity for anybody who adds this to save $25 on their order. Again, we'll get into all the details of how you do that in just a little bit here, but really want you to be thinking about, why are you going to use this in your business? And so when you're getting ready to, kind of think about this and strategize around this, I recommend saying, okay, what's my goal? Is my goal to increase my average order value? Is it to change the profit margin mix on my orders? Maybe I sell my basic photography package is my most popular package, and I don't have a lot of margin on that because I've got really low price points. It's just is the market that I'm in. But I do have other offers where I have much higher margin percentage on. Maybe I'm getting 50% margin or 100% margin on some other products, and so I want to use those products to help increase my actual profit amount from that order, right? So if you've got sort of some photography products that you would almost consider a loss leader because of their margin being so low, great opportunity to say, hey, buy a product that makes me more money, please, and also helps your listing. The other thing that I'd recommend checking out Let's see, I don't think I've got it up, but let's go jump over to it. Is under business reports, when you're using the HDPhotoHub shopping cart, you can pop over your product performance report and take a look and see what's your most popular products, right? I'm sure that you know, most commonly ordered things are this, this, and this. You might know your top 3 really easy, may not know your top 10 quite as easy. And something that you can take a look at is, what are the add-ons that people are buying? Do you think if you expose that add-on to more people in a modal that you would then get more people buying that add-on? Definitely something to consider and to experiment with is what are things that people already like to buy because the market is telling you that they're interested in that based on them buying it already on orders. Now, again, maybe it's only on 30% of your orders or 50% of your orders, and you want to get that up to 60% of your orders or to 55% of your orders. Again, just be thinking about kind of what those products are and what the numbers are. We're going to do a little bit of math. I'm sorry, everybody. I know math isn't always the favorite.
Jeez.
I know, but I know that we've got a lot of great business owners out there. And I know that you guys will appreciate a little bit of math today. So got agent pays, right? We got 3 products. These are going to be the products that I'm going to mess with to show you guys the upsells. Let's just look at this one column. We're going to go really easy one at a time. I promise, not a big deal. Client pays $300, okay? Of that, you typically profit, let's say, 125, right? This is made up. I'm paying my photographer well. I've got my editor, and so I end up making about $125 anytime I sell aerial video. Okay, that's pretty exciting, especially when I've got my photographer out shooting it, or hey, if I'm the photographer, then I'm probably making pretty good money too. Okay, I've got 100 orders. Remember, you can go and see your order count on your dashboard. So you can kind of take a look at what it is historically. Just saying 100 orders a month, easy numbers, 2% success rate, right? So that means 2 out of 100, I sell it. So that monthly impact to my profit is $250. Okay, I like that. Made another couple $100. It'll cover a few dinners with the family or whatever, right? So next one down here, much lower price point, right? Remember, the client has to pay $300 for that. Much lower price point, $60 for the floor plan. But my profit as an overall percentage is quite a bit higher. I'm making $40, it's a quick add-on. Maybe I'm using Cubicasa, shout out to Tammy, on there to make it really easy for your photographers to run through, scan it, and only adds like 15 minutes to shoot, right? That's great. So you don't have to pay your photographer very much. Cubicasa obviously has lots of different options, including a free model and monthly orders. 100 orders. Okay, it's only $60 to add. Let's say that your success rate on getting people to add this is 5%, so you're going to get 5 out of 100. Your monthly profit impact is going to be $200 there. All right? Okay. Let's take a look at the marketing kit. And so we've got $30 for the marketing kit. Every time you sell one, you're making $20, right? So basically, you've got the same kind of percentage here of how much are you making based on it. You got monthly orders of 100, success rate 10. So we'll say 10%, 10 out of 100, 1 out of 10 buying the marketing kit when it gets offered. That same impact overall to your monthly profit, $200. So you might be saying, Ian, why are you showing me 3 different add-ons? I've paid attention. I went and looked. I played with it already. There's only one add-on that can show on the shopping cart. Well, there's actually a way for you to kind of configure how these add-ons display, and you can set up some hierarchies there and some other things that I want to look at. But I really wanted to show kind of that monthly profit impact, for you to be thinking about, okay, you don't have to always upsell the highest priced item. And you definitely want to be thinking about what is your margin, right? So like how much product profit are you actually making when you sell that product that you want to sell? Is it the product that you want a lot of your clients to have exposure to? These things kind of all factor into make it so you can be thinking about what are the right products to upsell for your business. Fun with the numbers. If anybody wants to break this out or if you don't already break this out for your business, I highly recommend it. It's not super hard to set up some of these spreadsheets. If you need one, shoot me an email. I'll see if I can just send over a template. Okay, so now that we kind of talked about the different things that we're going to think about and do, let's kind of look at the actual setup of one of these upsell modals. So if you go into your shopping cart, and if you go to business, and if you scroll down on the shopping cart page, you will see underneath price tiers and above promo codes, you'll have the opportunity to set up an upsell. So let's take a look at just this aerial video one that you guys already saw the pop-up for. So in here, you'll see I've got the upsell name, I've got an upsell description, I've got my product picked, I've got it set to not display the actual product name and not display the actual product description. In this case, I wanted to control that a little bit more for the actual upsell. You can control the dates that you want to offer upsells. So again, if you are running something like a monthly promo, good spot here to be able to say, okay, I want this to run for all of June or all of July or all of whatever month. Or you can choose and just say, hey, I'm going to always upsell this. This is a great opportunity. It's good for their listings. People like it. It's really successful for me. In this case, for this higher price product, right? Aerial video, charging $300 for it per listing. We're going to do a promo code that we've got in here. So I just have one promo code created. So this promo code's coming from my actual promo codes that I have created for my shopping cart. You'll see all of your active ones in here to choose. In this case, I wanted to pick that $25 off. Got a status, and now inclusions and exclusions. So inclusions are going to be, I want to offer this product when these products when any of these products, there we go, are picked, right? So if any of these products, like we saw in the example I did earlier, luxury photography, anytime that that's picked, then the pop-up will come up. The exclusions are going to be in here as the products to not offer it on. So like in this case, it's not going to offer it when it's aerial video because it already is aerial video. But let's say we had that included in like a package, and you might go pick the package to set as your exclusion. You kind of set it up so that it makes sense. You're not going to offer things as an upsell where if they've already placed an order or if they're already making an order that has it in there, you may not want to offer it, especially in case if you're doing like a promo or something like that. Okay, and images, so you can upload an image, and we will show that as we get one going. So let's jump over and start another upsell. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about setting up the hierarchy once we set this next upsell, and kind of talk about what factors into that. Right, we're kind of getting into a little bit more of the advanced stuff, but it's I think it's important to think about this stuff and set it up so that you're gonna create an opportunity for your business to meet the goals that you're setting for it. So to create a new one, create the button or press the button. Easy enough. We're going to give it an upsell name. We're going to go ahead and just call this one floor plan. And in this case, I think I will just leave the floor plan description off. I want to show this name on the card. So the hide show name controls whether or not this displays. Now you might also just want to have it display the product name or just display the product description. Totally up to you. I'm going to actually turn those off once I pick my product here. So the product that I want to do is add a floor plan. I like this product because it is simple. It only takes about 15 minutes on site. In this case, the way that we have this business configured. So it's not adding a big gap. The reason why that is important, again, if we kind of go back to the hierarchy and what needs to happen for a product to sell, time on site actually matters if you're using our full Google Calendar Smart Scheduling. So if you're using the Smart Scheduling where your clients are choosing the day and time, it's calculating travel, it does all the neat things that the Smart Scheduling does, you can go ahead and add this into one more notch in its belt for Smart Scheduling. It'll also take a look at the upsell time on site and figure out if it's going to fit in that appointment window that your client picked or not. Right? We don't want your client to have to go back and start scheduling again, but we also don't want that upsell to be displayed right after they already picked their products. So they've picked their products, they've moved on to pick their scheduling, they've already got an appointment, great. And what the system does is it's going to look at your upsells, in the hierarchy order that you set and say, okay, this person's using smart scheduling. Let's make sure the upsell actually fits into the appointment slot so they don't have to change that. So again, something important to be thinking about as you're picking your products and as you're setting the order of those products. Again, we'll keep talking as I get back to the screen where you can kind of set the hierarchy. So here we've got add a floor plan. We are going to not display the product name or description in this case. I'm going to always offer this one. I don't want to turn it off or have it end. In this case, I'm not going to pick a promo code. We're just going to leave it at that $60. We like the margin that we get there, and we feel like it's already a cheap enough product that we don't need to downsell it. The status is going to be active. Now, in this case, for the floor plan, $60, I think we'll go ahead and offer it. Of course, anytime we've got a luxury premium, but we'll also offer it on the basic. You may have noticed on our last upsell, the one that's upselling the aerial video, which is a $300 product, I left the basic photography out. You know, the odds are that somebody picking our, $150 photo product probably isn't going to be interested in a $300 upsell at the end of their order. Just a guess, you never know, maybe the property isn't quite right, or, maybe you get it, but it's like, it's 1 out of 1,000 orders, not 1 out of 100. You want to be thinking about how likely is this person to pick it, because again, you can only display one upsell, make it really simple for your client and make it focused. You want to make sure to try to show them the right upsell. So when you're thinking about when do I want to upsell this, what upsells do I want to configure, be thinking about the type of listing it is when somebody orders these products and try to make it so that that you're going to have the best results that you can of your clients choosing those. So we're going to add it anytime that they're picking any of those photography services. It doesn't really hurt. We'll go ahead and turn it on for if they pick aerial too. If we've got somebody who's just ordering aerial, why not? Maybe they didn't think about doing a floor plan, or maybe their normal photographer doesn't do it. And so when they're buying aerial services from you, they also want a floor plan. Then we're going to set our exclusions. In this case, super simple. We're just going to say, hey, if you're adding a floor plan, we actually don't need that there. And that is it for that one. So before you add your image, make sure to save your changes once. So once you save your changes and you've got your upsell offer in here, you can come in and add your image. So I'm just going to drag this over. Easy enough. And now we've got an example floor plan to show them. Now these images, of course you can, really go nuts with them from a marketing standpoint, adding lots of text and different effects. If you've got graphic designers on your team, awesome. Highly recommend, kind of doctoring it up however you want. You'll see that we do display sort of the recommended size in there because it does pop up in that. So that's it. That floor plan upsell's ready to go. So a couple things to think about here and to talk about based on the configuration that we have, right? So we've got this, so it'll always show on luxury, premium, basic, or enabled to be able to show on those, as well as the aerial, while our aerial video is only going to be displayed on our luxury and our premium photography. We aren't going to try to upsell it on our basic. And so with this hierarchy, right, in this case, this is sort of a simple one where if we came back and said, okay, I've got a client who's booking. If this client picks my basic photography, they will not be offered the aerial video because, right, we don't have it enabled in the inclusion. And so it's going to go ahead and skip that, and I'll offer up our floor plan. Okay, so let's add one more upsell into the mix to kind of talk about this this situation a little bit more. Let's see. So let's add the marketing kit. And we will go ahead and say, okay, we'll turn it on for all of those. We don't care if they do that. No harm in adding it to those. And we don't need it if they pick the marketing kit. Don't really need to set any exclusions. We'll automatically take that one off down here once we pick the marketing kit product, but we'll do it anyways. Okay, so we've got the marketing kit on there. I'm not going to give it a description again, just kind of saving some time here. And no promo code active. I'm going to save it. Here's a quick fun fact. we do have some images that you can use on your shopping cart if you want. If you go to hdphotohub.com/marketing assets, let me show it up here like this. You can actually get to this download center here. You've got lots of different marketing kit videos and things that you can use outside of this, but in this case, just talking about some of the individual photos, there are quite a few different options in here for kind of displaying the marketing kit, displaying reels, different things that you can either use in social media, or in this case, we're using it on the shopping cart. So that's pretty fun. So we've got that image added in there and no exclusions to set. Okay, so a couple things that as we look at these three products that are noteworthy. So I've got my marketing kit, which doesn't require any time on site. I've got my floor plan, which requires 15 minutes on site. I've got my aerial video that requires 30 minutes on site. So if you're using smart scheduling, and we're going to say we've got in order they're coming in, they're buying photography, it's going to take an hour on site, and they do not have any time left in between their shoot. The way that this is ordered right now is it's going to say, okay, they don't have 30 minutes to do aerial video, so that won't be offered as an upsell. They don't have 15 minutes to do the floor plan, that won't be offered as an upsell. Okay, this is a digital product, so they do have the time. It's going to go ahead and offer the marketing kit as an upsell. Something really important to note for the folks out there that aren't using our Google Calendar enhanced scheduling, the time on site will be ignored when it's figuring out should it upsell or not. So in that case, right, so if you're using the Google Calendar and somebody only picks the day, or if you're using our preference calendar, as long as it qualifies for the aerial video, it won't care about how long that product actually takes to execute. It's just going to say, hey, if they ordered one of these two products, we're going to display this upsell as long as they weren't also ordering any of the exclusions. Right, so does that hopefully that makes sense. If you have a question about that, please write it into Shay and I can try explaining it another way, but it does matter to be thinking about your time on site. So as you set that hierarchy, you're gonna be thinking about how much are you gonna make off of that upsell? Is it a good fit for the products that they're ordering? Think about the time on site that you have set up for that upsell to make sure that you can kind of configure it in a way that's going to have it display. And then be thinking about a fallback, having the marketing kit in there as an upsell, as a digital product that doesn't take any more time on site, just making sure that you're upping your count of ability to sell something to one of your clients and help them enhance their listing. I think you kind of always want to take advantage of this when you can to be able to bring more money into your actual listings. Let's see. Perfect. Just kind of cruising through a few more things to look at. A couple more notes for the advanced users out there. If you have a price tier like we have here for VIP clients, if you were to choose an upsell of a product that is only available to your VIP clients, right? So it's hidden for a normal group of clients, but it shows for your VIP clients. Be thinking about where you want to place that in the upsell hierarchy as well. If you want that to always kind of be ahead, then you can drag these up and down. So after you create upsells, you can move those around to reorder them. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. So you don't have to delete it and recreate or anything like that. So again, be thinking about if it's a special product, where should it be in this hierarchy, and also know that you can have those displayed. Also, if you have products that are set up with dependencies, those dependency rules are always going to apply before the upsell is offered. So if you've got a product that only shows when thing X is being ordered, and that thing isn't being ordered, but you've tried to set an upsell for it, it isn't going to work because that product wasn't going to be something that was actually available in the cart. So the best way to just kind of think about that is as long as it's in your product list one way or another here, all right? So like in the case of the aerial video upsell, we've got luxury photography that has to be picked here. That adds in the aerial photography. Oops, sorry, the video isn't a dependency, but that adds in the floor plan. So again, if you weren't adding basic and this floor plan didn't show here, that would be a problem because that product would never display onto that shopping cart, which means it won't be offered. So just be thinking about that as you're going through and doing your setup and your configuration. And remember, just like lots of things in our system, you can make your product upsells really simple or really complicated, right? You can have a big hierarchy here. Oh, I want to always have, try to offer this up when somebody comes in and orders thing X, or always want to offer this when they're ordering thing Y. And, I want to make sure that I'm offering a really long time of service if I've got a big opening because I want to fill my day. You can do all of those things. You can make it complicated, but you could also just make it really simple. It's really simple and say, hey, if I've got time, I want to add a floor plan. If I don't, I'm going to ask them to add a marketing kit or another digital only product. And it just keeps it easy. But for the advanced people out there, go ahead, go nuts, enjoy yourself. Okay. As we are talking about promo codes, right? So we've got promo codes set up here, offered for this $25 off. A couple things to be thinking about on the promo codes that you choose for your upsell products. The promo codes, it needs to be a valid promo code, right? So when you see it in the list, it means that it's at least an active promo. But make sure that it's also valid. So make sure that it's not past the end date. Make sure that you haven't already hit the max number of uses either for a client or for the promo. It's almost best to, unless you have some really open promo codes like this one in this example, it's probably best to go ahead and create a promo code specific for what you're doing on that upsell and come in and make sure that, okay, you set the start date and the end date. If it's an upsell that you're only running for a month, those promo codes should probably match the same offers. You don't want to have limits, especially if you do things like, kind of adding to the wording here, like, hey, save, $25 now when you do this upgrade. You don't want that promo to no longer be valid and then not actually give them their $25 savings, right? So make sure to keep those, be thinking about that as you're going through and doing the setup for those. Also remember that promo codes work on, there's one promo code per order. So might want to add some language in there that says like, hey, doesn't apply with other offers. If you've got other promo codes that you're running and things like that, just so that people don't get confused. If they're entering, maybe like a first time user promo code and maybe you're giving them $100 off. Now they're trying to apply $25 off for adding the aerial. It actually isn't going to let them do that. It's going to just use one of the other promo code. So just a couple little notes there. Okay, got two more things that are in a little bit more of the advanced category, and then we'll jump into our Q&A time. Shay, anything that we need to jump into yet from a question standpoint?
Yeah, you've been kind of answering them as they come in. So, no, I think, yeah, if you want to keep going, I'll wrap up with a few. Yeah, I know. People ask questions and then you immediately answer. I'm like, you're doing my job for me. So
Weird.
thank you.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. All right. So customizing the look of the upsell modal. Let me bring this bad boy back up again so that we can kind of look at it while we're talking about this. All right, so here's our aerial video one. Inside of your shopping cart, so right again, we're under business shopping cart. If you come into the config section, and if you scroll down, it's close to the bottom because this section is right above the payment. As you come down here, you will see Upsell Module. So a couple things to talk about here. So you do have the ability, if you're an advanced user with a handful of shopping carts, you can actually turn off upsells on some shopping carts if you want. If you're an advanced user with a custom shopping cart, I'm going to talk to you next in just a second here and show you where you can add that because it won't be in your custom shopping cart by default. You'll need to go ahead and go in and add that. So here, if you wanted to change things, you can use hex colors, and you can also use like the pixels for the rounding. You guys may have noticed the decline verbiage down there. So like the no thanks, maybe next time. You can control this text down here. Obviously, you control the title and the description in the actual configure of the upsell. If you wanted to change colors, you can put in your hex codes here. 000 is black, and we're not going to actually do this. but we can make our text white. We could basically invert everything, or we could make them more around your colors. I would say the most probably noteworthy ones, maybe you want to change the button color to be something that's a little bit more on brand for you. We pull in some of the defaults, but if you come in and say button background, what are we? I think it's close, maybe. I don't remember. Maybe it might be our red, might not be our red. Oh no, I think it's this. There we go. Just for Kevin out there, I do know it. Border color. So again, if you want the color around here where it's black to be a different color, you can go ahead and edit that. You might want the border color just to be the same as the actual button. Based on the color of the button, you might want to change your text. We'll go to white. You can control the rounding. If you've got your rounded categories, that's up here, but you can also control the button rounding as well. So if you've got more round buttons on your cart, you can set that up. You do it by pixels. I'm just going to leave it as 0. And again, you can override that number. If you need some help with this, feel free to shoot our support team a message. They're pretty great. And just say, hey, I'd like to have the button match my brand colors, or hey, I'm trying to do this from a look and feel standpoint. Our support team's great, and they'll be able to help you out. So if we change this, we can now come over here. We'll see if I actually got that red right and be able to see how it looks now. Drum roll.
Here we go. No pressure.
Drum roll. Oh,
Ooh,
look at that. I think that is our red.
nailed it.
So pretty, not terribly hard. Again, kind of use your brand standards to use the hex codes for your colors. If you don't have them, if you aren't sure, there's a bunch of great websites out there. Just Google HTML color hex codes, and you'll be able to find them. Or again, shoot our support team an email. They're happy to help. Okay, let's see. So for those of you with a custom shopping cart, this is important. So you'll come into your config area, and you're going to come over and you're going to look at the section down here, and you're going to go ahead and scroll down all the way to the bottom, and you've got shopping cart specific sections. You're going to see one that is called Upsell. Go ahead and click to add it, and you'll click the plus. Now, once it's in here, you can drag it around. Our recommended location for it would be just before payment. So basically what that means is once the section that is below it is triggered to be open, that's when the upsell will appear. So let's say that we wanted this to display before we ask them for their note information or the kind of the final details. We would put it just one step above. Now when they get down and finally unlock the note area, so if you've got that as like a required section, then it'll, or the user account, right after they put in their user information will appear, then it'll ask them for their notes and payment. So you can control that in the custom cart kind of up and down. Again, you've got all the same configuration inside of here. Being able to turn it on, turn it off is all in there and ready to go. Okay, so just to kind of go back and summarize everything that we've been kind of talking about, definitely the very first step of, okay, I'm going to offer upsells. What's your goal? Why do you want to offer an upsell? Is it just to increase your average order value? Do you want to add a different margin mix in there based on the products? And that's going to help you get to that answer of, okay, what product should I be upselling? What product should I be offering? Don't forget, you can set these in a hierarchy order. So when you create them, you can drag and drop them up and down. Be remembering if you are using our smart scheduling, that the longer the time on site, the less likely it's going to be displayed because your photographer has to have that ability to be able to have that extra time in the schedule to do that. So if it's butting up against another appointment, there's not enough time. That's why it's important to have the kind of your setup in here. I would always at least recommend adding a digital product that doesn't require any time on site, so you get that extra upsell opportunity on every single order. Definitely check that out and be able to do that. Okay, let's take a look at one other thing that I didn't talk about yet before we jump into Q&A, and that is the upsell report. So under business and reports, So if we come over here under revenue, we can look at upsell performance. This is going to be important once you have some upsells running, right? Might want to get a month's worth of data. Maybe you want a quarter's worth of data. Maybe you only want a week's worth of data. But you'll be able to come in here and see how many times the upsell actually displayed on an order that was completed. Right, so we've got all zeros because we've just been doing test orders. We haven't put anything actually through the system. You've got the number of upsell purchases that actually happened, how many times there was a promo that was part of that upsell, and then what was the dollar amount that you added to your order revenue based on that upsell being there. I highly recommend coming in and checking this report at least maybe monthly or quarterly. You know, some businesses you might not want to do it until annually, but keep an eye on it, especially as you put this out and experiment in your business early. You know, to be able to see, like, am I offering upsells or the ones that I want them to see getting displayed, or are they too long on site, or do I have too many other restrictions, or is it just ordered so often that, okay, great, it's not asking it, that's okay. The main thing to look at is going to be your percentage. So your displays to purchases are going to tell you your success rate of that particular upsell offering. And what you might find is that, you know, maybe this has got a 2% success rate on your floor plan, but you've got a 10% success rate down here on your marketing kit. You might want to switch up the hierarchy order of that. Now, if you were to do that, right, your marketing kit, because it's a digital product, is going to always display because there's no time on site. So now your floor plan won't display. But like in the case of these two, if you've got wildly different percentages, you know, you can be thinking about how much more money does that actually make you from those upsell purchases, and do you have them organized in the way that's maximizing your profit and getting out to what people want? All right, so we got about 15 minutes left. Shada, we got some good questions to jump into.
Well, I did. I had a big old list, and you just kept answering them. So
Oh, all right.
we're down to two. So
Okay,
it's
all
getting
right,
a little
all
sparse over
right.
here.
People, if you've got some crazy questions, you've got Shay's the expert, so he can probably answer all the crazy ones for
Shoot
you.
'em my
But
way.
feel free to shoot them in, and we'll just have Shay answer them live or walk us through it. If you got some crazy ones, go for it. Let's start with the couple that you do have queued up, Shay.
Yeah. Well, we'll start with one. I guess it's like 2.5.
Okay.
The question I had the most was if you can just show that link to the branding assets again, or the marketing assets.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So I
awesome.
just got bombed with people like, "Hey, what was
Yeah.
that link?" So just in case anyone else missed it, throw it
So
up
yeah,
there.
hdphotohub.com/marketing assets. There's a link to it also, I think, I think it was in the release of the upsell. I believe that there was a link in there to it as well. Definitely
Probably,
check that out. We can make sure that it's in the email that we send out when we
yeah,
send
that's
out the
okay.
recording for sure too. But yeah, marketing, hdphotohub.com/marketing-assets. Great spot with lots of marketing resources for your business in there. Fun. Okay.
All right. Here's next one. Uh, and apologize, I was typing away. So if you answered some of these questions already, might be a repeat. So,
That's all right. That's all
uh,
right.
if an upsell is in a package, will it automatically be excluded?
You'll need to choose it as being excluded from that package. Let's see. I don't have any packages set up in this particular business, but I believe when you pick the package, that it automatically goes through and excludes all of the products that are part of that package. That's the same way that we
Yeah.
have like the dependency stuff working. So just set it. So yes, you will still need to set it as an exclusion for that package. And that way it'll take off the rest of the products and things that are in there too.
All right. How do upsells that need a square footage range need to be set up?
Sure. Yeah. So you would set them up with multiple upsells for the range. So let's do floor plan as our example. So let's just call this our small floor plan. Let's see. We'll go it's up to 2,000 square feet, and we'll set a range here. So 0 to 2,000. And let's duplicate this. So we're going to copy the product, Now we've got another one in here. Add a floor plan. Let's go up to what, 5,000 square feet. Jeez Louise, square feet. And we're gonna move our price up by like 20 bucks. We'll keep our time on site the same. And we'll go to 5,000 here. Okay. Our dependencies are the same. We'll save this guy. So now that we've got this in here, right, both of our floor plans are now set to different square footage ranges. We would set this upsell up again. So we've got our add a floor plan upsell in here. So we're going to create a new floor plan one. We're going to call it floor plan. If you want, you can name it different, like, let's see, up to 5,000 square feet. And now our product that we pick is going to be our floor plan up to 5,000 square feet. And we're going to set the same inclusions. And we're going to come down and say if somehow they ordered that other one, we don't want to actually ask it. So really the same setup like you're making the product again, or if you're making a specific promo for that specific product, you'll go in and set it up so you'll have kind of a set of floor plan situations here, right? So you'll have the ones for each of the floor plan square footage range that you have for that specific product, because the upsells are product focused and they've got just one product that you're offered. You'll set it up for each one to be able to have it display the way that you want.
That's all I got. I just want to reiterate a few things,
Yeah.
just because I had a lot of questions, and I think I had questions come in even after you talked about it. But just to say it again, the order that the upsells are in on this page here, that's the order that they'll be displayed on to the user. So if you want something to be displayed first, make sure it's the top one. And then another question kind of around that, we only show one. I think we mentioned that a few times, but you'll always just see one upsell, the first one that qualifies, and that's it.
Yeah, so great point. Let's harp on that a little bit more. So in this case, we've got the aerial video coming up because we picked the luxury product. So if I say no thanks, it just lets me continue on with my order. It doesn't prompt for the next upsell, not taking the approach of bombarding them over and over and over and over. It's really kind of being focused and specific to one, right? You've got that balance of you want to sell more, but you don't want to annoy your clients and have it feel like it's a headache for them to be doing their online ordering. Remember, every time they're placing an order online, one, they get exposure to all the products that you're offering, including whatever you're going to upsell in this particular case. Two, it's another order that you don't have to manually type in and enter. So it's saving your business time and money. Okay, so if we refresh this and show a different situation, so residential, and this time I'm going to pick the basic photography, and I'm not adding any floor plans here. If we come down and we'll just say Isabel, let's do team. Oops. And we pick our time on site. Now we'll see we've got the floor plan upsell offered in this case, right? Because the aerial video product doesn't qualify to be offered as an upsell for the basic photography that we picked, and therefore it goes to the next option in this order, which is the floor plan. Now, if we had a full schedule and the photographer didn't have any extra availability to offer a floor plan, it goes down to the next option that's down here, right? It keeps looking until it can hopefully find one. In this case, it would have found the marketing kit, and then that would be offered because it's a digital product, no time on site. So it's always great to have kind of whatever your last option is, be a digital product. That way you can go ahead and offer an upsell on every single order that comes in. What else do we got, Shay?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
any
all I
other
got.
really common questions that we want to reiterate for anybody out there who might have it? I don't remember if I actually showed this. I think I skipped it because I was like, Oh my gosh, I really hope Shay makes it. So if you go to HDPhotoHub to our help center, so help.hdphotohub.com, or if in your account you go to the support area, you can actually come in here and type in upsell, and you will get to this particular help topic that covers a whole bunch of details that we did today, but obviously much faster, where you can kind of just skim through and say, what was it that I needed to know, or what about this? So shout out to the help center to be able to come here and see a bunch of the details that we talked about today in another spot for you to be able to find those and be able to go through. Of course, we've got our awesome support team where you can always hit them down here under the contact us and click the little chat bubble. They're happy to help and talk with you. If you want to give them a call, you've got that option too, email as well. So be sure to take advantage of the help resources that we have out there. Make sure that you can get your questions answered. Yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this. I hope you guys are excited as we are about this. You know, we really do believe that the impact on your business is going to be substantial. You know, you kind of look at years like last year where, you know, the overall, you know, varies market to market, of course, but overall listing count being down, you know, we look at it sort of nationally most of the time. When that's down, you want to be finding ways that you can move your average order up so that you can make sure that your business is at least making the same amount of money that it was the year prior, even if the listing count is down. We really wanted to prep for that and be focused on adding features that are going to help you achieve those goals throughout this year. This is one that we think is going to have a really big impact overall. Of course, it matters how you do it, so definitely be thinking about it. Definitely be measuring your results with that report. But we believe that this is a tool that's really gonna have a great bottom line impact to your business, and so therefore we're super excited about it. So please utilize it, enjoy it, and thank you everybody for joining. We'll get the recording out soon if you want to rewatch any certain segments or anything. But thank you for coming and have a great week. Thanks, Shay.
Thank you guys. Yep. See you guys.